Welcome to our today's science lesson. And we had started looking at the advantages of both organic and inorganic fertilizers. But I want us to separate them in a way that we have the advantages of organic fertilizers alone, then disadvantages, then advantages of inorganic fertilizer alone, and then disadvantages. So I want to start from where we left yesterday. Many of them are mentioned about organic fertilizer. Organic manures, these are natural fertilizers, natural manures, the ones that we make at home. So the moment we mention about organic, we are talking about the natural ones, the farmyard, the organic mulches, the green manure, and then the compost manure. That is what we mean by organic mulches, organic manure. So advantages, number one, I talked about this, binds soil particles, binds soil particles together. That one I mentioned yesterday. Number two, releases the nutrients slowly for a long time. Releases the nutrients slowly for a long time. Maybe to explain this, whenever you use natural fertilizers, natural manures, they don't get exhausted. They don't exhaust all the minerals at the same time. So the because it continues to decompose slowly and slowly. So as it continues to decompose, it continues to release the nutrients slowly, time by time. Not like the inorganic fertilizers where if you apply CAN, that CAN will just automatically release the nutrients, nitrogen very fast, and then next time you have to use again. But for organic fertilizer, that is manures, they release the nutrients slowly with time. So you can use, if you use it today, you can use this season, and still the same one that you use this season can be used in another season before it gets exhausted. So that is what it means. So it releases nutrients slowly for a long time. Number three, of course, reduces soil erosion. The reason being, it has already bound the soil particles together. Remember, soil erosion occurs when the top fertile soil becomes loose, and then it can be carried away by either wind or rainwater, because there are some factors that lead to soil becoming loose. Like for example, we talk about overstocking, where you are keeping a lot of animals in a small piece of land, that they'll step on that soil until it becomes loose, and so it is prone to soil erosion, to be carried away. Then number four, improves aeration. I talked about this yesterday. Improve soil aeration. As small animals move in the soil, they make ways where soil becomes aerated, and so air circulation is also improved. Then improves soil structure. How soil layers are arranged, it ensures it improved because they are maintained. They are not destroyed. Then from there we go to the disadvantages. I hope you have recorded all this. Binds soil particles together, releases the nutrients slowly for a long time, reduces soil erosion, improves soil aeration, and then improves soil structure. Capture that well, learner. So that we go to disadvantages. Disadvantages of organic manure. So some of the disadvantages include, number one, can lead to spread of diseases. Remember, we are using organic manure. We are using farmyard manure. We are even using green manure. Take for example green manure. You had planted that the plant that is to be used as green manure, like the beans. So before they flower, you plow them back in soil. Let's assume that by the time you are plowing them back, they had been affected by a disease, and then you plow them back into the soil. They will retain the same disease. So once you come and plant the main crop, maybe the maize, it will get the same disease that the beans had. So there's transferring of diseases if you are not careful. Then number 2, talk about takes long time to rot and release nutrients. Takes long time to decompose, to rot and release nutrients. This is what we said yesterday, Lana, that the example that I'm giving is a green manure. Green manure takes, e.g., green manure, which takes 3 to 4 weeks. You can see the number of weeks taken in. So this is a long time before it decomposes and releases nutrients so that you can now plant the main crop. But look at the example of the CAN or even the ammonium phosphate. Once you put it in the soil, it releases immediately nutrients because we know it's specific nutrients that it's carrying. So that is one of the disadvantages. Then it can lead to spread of weeds. Spread of weeds. In our definition in class 4 and 5, we say that weeds are unwanted plants that grow in our farms. Unwanted is in the case because once we plant our crops, you find weeds growing. So they are unwanted because they compete for space and nutrients with the crops. So it can lead to spread of weeds. How, Lana? Look at these animals, like for example goats and cows. They are browsing. They eat anything in the field. Remember, some of the things that they feed on have seeds. So once they swallow those seeds, they go and remove them with the dog and the cow shed. Then you pick the farmyard manure, take to the shamba. The seeds have not died. Remember, they are in the cow dung. They are in the goat's pellets or whatever it is. So once you take them to the shamba, you find that area that you place that manure. There's a lot of weeds growing from that point. You have ever seen that? You pick manure from a cow shed. Wherever you place, once it rains, you find a lot of weeds growing in that area where there is manure. Those are the weeds we are talking about. So you spread the weeds across the farm again. So that's how it happens. Number 4, it is expensive to prepare. Expensive to prepare. It's very expensive to prepare. Like for example, take for example the green manure again. Remember, you have bought the seeds. You buy the seeds. You use a tractor to prepare the land first. Then you come and plant your seeds, which you have bought using money. Then after 3 to 4 weeks, you plow them back into the soil again using a tractor. You're also paying that person before you plant now the main crop. Look how you have lost. Paying the first person to prepare the land, buying the seeds using money, planting them. Before they flower, you plow them back into the soil so they have not become food. They cannot give yields. Then again, you are using also a tractor to plow them back in the soil. You're also paying. Then now you use a tractor again, Lana, to plant the main crop that will utilize those nutrients. So it's very expensive to prepare these manures. Look, for example, even the compost manure. You have to pay someone to dig that pit, then piling those materials. In those areas we have a lot of rain, you have to buy a polythene paper to come and cover those particular compost heaps. So this is how expensive it is. So it's very expensive to prepare these natural fertilizer. Then number 5, does not carry specific nutrients. Does not carry specific nutrients. Lana, when you talk about specific nutrients, it's like when you are applying phosphatic fertilizer. You know what nutrient are you applying here, Lana? You understand that you are adding phosphorus to the soil. That is what we talk about, specific nutrient. So whenever you apply any phosphatic fertilizer into the plant, you know exactly you are putting phosphorus in that particular plant. But when you apply, for example, farmyard manure, Lana, do you know what exactly you're applying on the soil? You don't know. You're just doing a trial and error method. You don't know exactly what this farmyard manure is carrying. You don't know the nutrients it's carrying. So you're just applying for the plant to benefit from anything that is found in that particular farmyard manure. But when you apply CAN, you know exactly you're putting nitrogen into the soil. So you can tell that I have applied CAN so that I want my crops to get what? Nitrogen from that fertilizer. But this one, the organic fertilizers do not have a specific nutrient that you apply in the soil. You're just applying them all some, and then whatever they give to the soil, then you can benefit from them. Then lastly, they are bulk. What's the meaning of bulk, Lana? That you can't be able to pack them. Look, for example, the fertilizers that we get from the market. They are packed in 2 kg, 1 kg, even half a kg, 50 kg bags, even 100 kg bags. They can be packed in certain types of packings. But in this one, you cannot be able to pack. How can you be able to pack green manure, Lana? It is not possible. Look at farmyard manure. You can't pack farmyard manure. You only put it in a sack and then take it to the shamba. There's no way you can be able to pack it. It's also bulky. Carrying it is also so difficult, because you have to take a spade, scoop it and place it where you want to, maybe in a wheelbarrow, where you want to carry it from. So it's so bulky to carry. You can't tell people you are carrying maybe 100 bags of green manure. It is not possible. You cannot measure that. So even applying is also bulky in transportation and even applying. How do you measure how much you apply to a certain plant? You just pour. So you don't know whether you have put in excess or enough. But look at the inorganic fertilizer, where you can use a spoon. Scoop 2 spoons, place in a certain plant, and then move on like that. But this one is not easy to apply and also carry. So it's bulky to transport and apply. Apply here means placing on the particular plants you want to. So let's move very fast to inorganic fertilizers. The advantages of inorganic fertilizers. So we begin with the advantages. Advantages of inorganic fertilizers. Inorganic fertilizers. So what are the advantages? You'll find that most of the disadvantages of organic fertilizer will be the advantages of inorganic fertilizer. So number one, Lana, we have what we call, number one, they contain specific nutrients. I've talked about that, Lana. I won't repeat. So I've said it's CAN. You know, a CAN fertilizer comprises of nitrogenous nutrients. So it contains nitrogen as a nutrient there. So you know specifically what you are adding to the soil. Number two, they release nutrients very fast. Release necessary nutrients very fast. Releases nutrients very fast because of course you know what you're adding there. Then number three, easy to transport and store. Easy to transport and store. In other words, not bulky. Not bulky. It transports and store. You can pack them very easily. Even in the stores, you will find them piled like that, well organized. But how can you store green manure land? It's not possible. You cannot store even farmyard manure. Number four, they are ready to use in small economical amounts. Are ready to use in small economical amounts. What does this learner mean? That even that farmer who is not having a lot of money to buy these fertilizers can afford even to buy half a kg, because they are packed in small quantities that are economical. Economical means you can be able to afford them. So this is what it means, learner. So very fast we go to the disadvantages. There are all disadvantages. So let's find out what are the disadvantages. Disadvantages. Disadvantages of inorganic fertilizers. Number one, they are expensive to acquire. They are expensive to acquire. That farmer who has a large piece of land, 50 hectares, and the soil is not having any nutrients, is infertile. So for that farmer, being able to use that particular all land and to apply fertilizers is very, very expensive for them. Even for that small farmer, that small scale farmer who has a small land, to acquire fertilizer is not something simple. You find it's very expensive because you have to give out some good money. They pollute the environment, especially when used in excess. Pollute the environment, especially when used in excess. What does that mean? That if they are used in excess, they are left on the soil, and then remember what we did when we were talking about water pollution, that in excess fertilizers will be carried by rainwater into water sources, and so the water will be polluted because of the chemicals found in them. So that is exactly what happens here. If you use in excess of it, the plant will use exactly what it needs, then leave the others on the soil. That will burn the soil. At the same time, it will be carried into water sources. Do not improve the physical properties of soil. Properties of soil. Learner in class 5, we talked about physical properties of soil, drainage, capillarity, and maybe water retention. So these fertilizers do not improve that, unlike in organic fertilizers where we're using the farmyard manure. They improve, we say they improve the physical structure, meaning the physical properties of soil are improved. In this one, if you continue using inorganic fertilizers for a long time in a certain soil, the soil becomes loose. It instead of improving, it degrades the soil, becomes poor. Such that if you don't use the fertilizer, you cannot grow anything on that particular soil because the soil has become loose. This one loosens soil. Instead of improving the physical properties of soil, such as drainage and capillarity, water holding capacity, all those things, it ensures that the soil becomes loose. We have a number of them. The other side, you can add a few here. We have a few you can add from this side, like we have just a few minutes to get this right. And we're talking about some of the other disadvantages. Some of them, if exposed to the atmosphere, they stick together. When exposed, they stick together. What does this mean, learner? That some of these inorganic fertilizers are able to absorb the atmospheric water. Any water that is in the atmosphere, it can be able to absorb and become sticky. So it absorbs that water and becomes sticky. Another one is that when some of the fertilizers that are meant to be applied maybe on the soil, when they fall maybe on the leaves, they have a burning effect. So some have a burning or scorching effect. You just apply fertilizers, and if accidentally, if you meant to apply on the soil, and then maybe some of the particles fall on leaves, you find those leaves drying because of the scorching effect that those fertilizers have. So you can also see that they are corrosive. They can burn. Once you place them here, you can hear the burning. So some of them are even corrosive. Some are corrosive. Corrosive means it can burn you. So such are some of the other disadvantages of these inorganic fertilizers. So we have checked advantages and the disadvantages of both organic and inorganic fertilizer. So any question that you get from an exam regarding this, then learner you can be able to get it right. So I want to give you work. We cannot finish the lesson without work. So 1-to-1 exercise 2. Exercise 2. That is on page 104 through 105. 105. So that's the work that I want you to get it and get it right. Do those questions, they are running from number 1 to 10. Do them properly. And once we meet next time, prepare yourself for something interesting. We shall be looking into electricity. Nana, you've seen electricity so many times. So you want to understand what electricity exactly is. So here we shall discuss static and current electricity. It's very something that is very interesting to learn. A lot of experience will be there, both in class and outside class. So Lana, let's meet in our next lesson and discuss about electricity. But when you have already done this one. So may God bless you. Thank you.